See the pink one over there? Oh yeah, look at that. Some bright oranges off in the distance. Beautiful. Wow. Oh man, let's keep going. Oh man, wow. Coming up on some views here. So we got a killer view right here. Killer view, but there's more azaleas. So we're heading to the azaleas before we come back and check out the view. Look at that. Look at that. You can just see forever up here. Guys, we're up here on the Gregory Bald. We've got Cage Cove here in the background. We've got the Cumberland Azalea right here. We got a lot to show you. Make sure you stay tuned and check out this video.
Welcome to the Mr. Maple Show. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share. And we're definitely going to ask you share this with your gardening friends. We put a little effort into this one. It's going to be a special video, and I think people are going to enjoy this one. But those native plants don't hit the algorithm, so make sure to share this with your gardening friends if you like this kind of thing. If you want us doing more of this content, this is just the beginning of the video. Stick around, get hyped. There's some awesome stuff to come.
Amazing. So we're here with Del. How do you say your last name?
Del Barong.
Barong. That's what I thought. A former president of the Maple Society.
We know Del from Maple Society, gosh, way back when we were just getting really, I mean, you saw Mr. Maple when it was real small. It's still small, but you saw it when it was real small.
That's right.
And it was really cool whenever they said, hey, Del's going to be on this trip. Matt and I looked at each other like, all right, cool. We got another maple addict here in the bunch who can give us a little bit of insight on some azaleas. What do you like about the Cumberland Azalea?
Well, see, it blooms a little later. So for me, I'm looking for bloom time with maples. I've got fall and spring bloom. You've got April or whatever, but here we are in mid-June, and what a display. You know, wouldn't you like that in your garden?
Oh.
Something to show like this during the summer.
We talked about it a little bit on the hike up, but how did you get into native azaleas? Like, what was your interest in this? What drew you to it?
I enjoyed the group.
Yeah.
The organization was local and had meetings, but the main thing was, at that time I had more maples than I knew what to do with.
You can never have enough maples.
That's it. But you know, needed other things to fill out the landscape. So started with azaleas and then native azaleas, and you know, sort of went from there. The native azaleas typically grow much taller than the evergreens. If you're looking for something knee-high and below, you know, you want an evergreen azalea. But the many of my deciduous azaleas are 10 to 12 feet tall. In some cases, and they can take much more sun than many of the others. So I planted some deciduous azaleas to help give shade to maybe the evergreens planted underneath. So anyway, that's it. There are a lot of species, 15 species in in the southeast, something like that. So there's a lot to learn.
What do you like about the swarm here at Gregory Bald? Like, what is it to you that makes you make this trek? Because you made this, how many times have you been up here?
This is only my second time up here. But I like propagation, and I don't know many other places, or really any other places, that have Cumberland dents in this kind of swarm. So that's why the hike all the way up here. You know, there are a lot of people that came up for the hike.
Yeah, right.
I came for the azaleas.
The hike, I could do without the hike if I had the azaleas. The azaleas are pretty awesome.
I got on that horse and I was like, that guy's a pioneer.
Well, I'd wondered about getting together with you guys, and we needed a chopper to drop us off here and pick us up.
Parachute in and get picked back up.
But here you see the size of them, and you know, if they were in a more wooded environment, they'd be even taller. So
incredible.
Anyway, so most of the evergreen azaleas and other plants that you would plant in a garden stay fairly short. And you know, it's also, I will plant camellias behind these azaleas because in the winter they don't have any foliage, and you can look through them and see the foliage of the camellias and the blooms. So anyway, it's
good combination of plants: the camellias, the azaleas, and the Japanese maples.
Yep.
I like it. I dig it.
I mean, I can't be up here without just being in shock and awe of the beauty of the plants and the view, and just.
That's a pretty good view.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yep. Beautiful.
Hey everyone, so we're doing this little segment. We're spending like 4 hours up here and we're just really, probably even longer actually, just enjoying these native azaleas. And we're gonna do a little segment where everybody goes around and picks out some of their favorite native azaleas in this just never-ending swarm of amazing native azaleas. I couldn't walk by this pink without getting it on camera. This pink just really speaks to me. Beautiful flowers on this. It's got a little bit of a picked up mango colored eye in the middle of that pink. And it just gives a little something extra to it. It's that one's special for me. I like this color a lot. It's nice.
We're all hiking around out here among the azaleas, geeking out. Everything's beautiful. The view, the azaleas, beautiful day today. Matt just got through doing a pink one around the corner, and I just happened to notice this crazy orange red right here behind me. I mean, this thing was really lighting up in the sun. Got a little bit of sun coming down on it. It's just glowing. It's just got this crazy red orange glow to it. Big clusters, just like floating, glowing balls across this plant. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. Hey guys, we really hope you've been enjoying all these latest videos of our hike to Gregory Bald. It was a pretty epic adventure, you know, seeing all these beautiful native azaleas up there. And the cool thing is here at MrMaple.com, we've got some of those plants here available for you to plant in your garden.
So you can actually go to MrMaple.com and support the channel that's working so hard on putting this video together, on going on this hike, and create something similar in your garden. So we've got Rhododendron cumberlandense, the Cumberland azalea. We've got Rhododendron arborescens, the sweet azalea, which he's got here, and then Viscosum, which is one of the other sweet azaleas. And these hybridize backwards and forwards like crazy, just like you're seeing at the Gregory Bald.
I mean, some of the color changes and variation that you'll find up there is just absolutely amazing. So imagine being able to kind of replicate that in your garden at home or somewhere in your landscape there. I think it's just a really cool idea to be able to take these from the nursery into your garden. It's going to be awesome.
And you can also get it even crazier with if you want, because we offer not just these native azaleas, but lots of other varieties of azaleas on MrMaple.com. So you can go and create your own combination of plants that could possibly hybridize together. We know these three hybridize really regularly because of they're all three diploids. That gets a little technical, but they can cross-pollinate each other really well. A lot of our other azaleas can as well, and you can start your own azalea garden that can look like this amazing mountaintop at the Gregory Bald, and you can have this crazy breeding happening, or you can just enjoy the beautiful blooms that are already there.
But check out our amazing variety of azaleas at MrMaple.com. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
MrMaple.com. That's us.
I've seen your whips. Well, I've seen your plants for sale before.
Yeah.
Nice.
She was growing a lot of Japanese maples back in the day, and we just kind of continued to get crazier and crazier. And I'd probably say around 07 or 08, my brother and I said, what if we did just this? And so we kind of got into it full time for grafting and growing Japanese maples.
Then how did you branch out into deciduous azaleas?
We were trying to earlier. We liked them a lot. It was just a natural process of finding companion plants for maples that we liked, and it's just a maturity of learning about more cool plants and maturing your palate for those plants, and it just kind of naturally came about. I mean, it was like something that just fit very well with what we were already doing. So
Yeah, I think we had that same kind of following too, of people who would be interested in, if they're planting a lot of maples in their garden, they're going to want some azaleas to plant around to kind of accent play off of that. I mean, I was a collector before I came out here, and
he left his garden of 250 Japanese maples in Oklahoma and moved here this year.
Don't work for Mr. Maple. I had this dream of turning my passion into my career, and just people and plants are my two favorite things. So I just wanted to be around that every day, and I made the journey out here, and it's been pretty cool.
Hey y'all, we're here. We came around the corner here and Charlie said this is pretty special, and I agree. This is clearly got some rhododendron arborescence in it. You can tell that by some of that red color you're seeing in some of the stamens, but this is yellow. And this is a really nice yellow. And so this plant is just really spectacular. It really stands out here on the Bald. And I mean, yellow hybrid arborescence, pretty spectacular. It's got a nice sweet scent to it, just like the arborescence does. Very similar form. I mean, the aroma coming off this is just like what we experienced going up Wine Springs Bald, and then seeing that with some yellow color really is something special. I mean, there aren't a whole lot of yellow selections of the native azaleas, especially on the arborescence. And this native swarm where all these crazy hybrids are happening are showing all these different unique traits that you don't find many other places. And here, the fact that you get some of this red color to the pistil, a little bit to the stamens you can see from a distance, and that yellow color really makes this a very special and unique azalea.
The Forest Service was not doing
Matt, where you at?
We've got down to 9.
Found the red?
20 to 30, almost 30 at the
He said it over to red GB.
Where's the red GB?
We're going to follow them over there.
About a 7.5, right?
Check that out.
Years ago,
This is it right here.
say that this is the reddest one I've ever seen on Gregory Bald.
It's hard to beat.
It's hard to beat. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the orange. That's red.
That is not orange at all.
That's
10 out of 10?
very lit, huh?
10 out of 10 on this one?
Yeah, I'll go with 10 on this one.
That first one was 1 out of 10, so we've worked our way up. 10 out of 10.
So people first come up the ball and they look at this, they say, oh my gosh, that's wonderful, but you got to look through everything here for 3 or 4 years before you start getting selective.
Right. That is special.
To get selective. And this is one of my favorites.
So how long have you seen this specific plant?
I discovered it about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah?
Like I say, when they started mowing down this far, the ball was, overgrown, and this was in the woods. The forest had, come up here.
Yeah.
And there were trees and grass and briars, and you didn't see this and it didn't bloom because the trees and so forth were preventing it from blooming. And then they finally mowed down this far, and the 9 acres finally became, I think now it's like 18 or so acres now, finally opened up, and these things can now get sunlight and bloom.
I was snooping around listening to you because it's the best part of the tour, and I wanted to ask you, I thought I heard you say an age. How old do you estimate this swarm of azaleas to be?
I don't know, but they certainly could be 100 years old or more. Yeah.
Wow, okay. I mean, some genetics that have been around.
These are big azaleas.
Yeah.
This can't be 15 or 20 years old. These azaleas like this.